Okay, yes. Last poem, Thirst, by Alice Jones. I almost wish it were me, whose house is now a pile of saturated ash, the chimney stones laid bare. Maybe the orange cat, who hid inside a fireplace, would emerge, singed and mewling, saying, "Feed me," kneading my unfurred hands to turn the can opener, to pour water into his baked ceramic dish. So clean to be houseless, to never choose which clothes to keep, which papers, the simplicity of dispossession, when the only way to know who I am is to write it down. Remember, objects don't name you anymore, and even your foundation is the floor of an oven that consumes all shreds of being. No things to mark me, no things to lay their wooden claim. Embers, ashes, barely a self, listening, puzzled to the year's first rainfall on the flapping dry leaves of eucalyptus, which no longer grown in the Santa Ana. The bitter thirst would match theirs. Okay, I chose this poem because it was the only other thirst poem I could find online. Yeah, but I think in the introduction, like Jovan was talking about how we all have this innate thirst, right? Like thirst is a very natural thing. And I think that's something that is quite central, quite essential to this poem, because throughout this poem, you get an image of a persona who is in a pretty bad mental state. Like she's craving self-abnegation, right? She wants a house to be burned away. Um, she wants to be houseless. She wants to be dispossessed. No things to mark her, from embers to ashes, barely a self. But eventually, right, when rain falls, she reveals that there is still thirst, which means that there's still that thirst for life, you know? Like the first two stanzas, it's wanting the dryness of just wanting a very kind of dry and fiery um, space, right? Like wanting to burn things down. But towards the end, there's still the thirst, which contrasts sharply with that desire for flame, for fire. Um, so yeah, I was just thinking that this natural thirst um, for life exists in everyone, even the most, okay, I wouldn't say the most depressed and suicidal, but even depressed people feel that thirst for life as well. And it's just that the thirst is a bitter kind of thirst because for so long you've been wanting fire, right? You've been wanting to destroy yourself. But yeah, it's bitter because you've been wanting rainfall for a long time and it hasn't come, and therefore you've changed your attention to like just want to burn everything down. But eventually, when rainfall comes, you realize that yes, you still do want rain. There's still that thirst that wants to be quenched. And also, I like the pathetic fallacy in the last stanza because she's like attributing her bitter thirst to the eucalyptus leaves, right? It's like there's this union between herself and nature. So she's no longer this solitary being with no place in the world, which is the kind of vibe I get from the rest of the poem. Yeah, that's all. It's a very. I just wanted to talk about the natural thirst that exists in all of us.
I think this poem is like I don't know, but like at least towards the end, it feels like this poem is like a very cynical or like person with a really negative mindset in general. Like at least from what I'm seeing, like it seems like this person wants to erase any form of existence or like completely obliterate any form of existence. Like there's this idea of like of being
Yeah, being burnt to ashes,
yeah,
right?
being burned to ashes. And then the eucalyptus is supposed to be a plant that heals people. Yeah, it's a very cynical form. Like I feel it's almost suicidal. I don't know.
I thought it was suicidal for the most part of it, except the end though, because like the fact that the flapping dry leaves no longer grown, right? It's like they are no longer in their misery because they only grown during the dry weather, right? But then once rain comes, it no longer grows. So like, it's like emerging from that depressive period, yeah, that the persona is in.
I think the ambiguity by the end of the poem does link back to, I think, what I mentioned before about whether thirst is something that's internal or external. So maybe in this case, the question is whether thirst is purely a biological function of the body wanting to survive, right? and to continue sustaining itself? Or is it because of external factors like people or interests or certain things that give the persona meaning in life that makes them want to continue living on? And I mean, it doesn't have to be one or the other. Maybe it can be both.
Yeah. Well, actually, I want to talk about the bitter thirst, right? Just now I said the bitterness is because I've been waiting so long for the rain to fall, right? I was thinking maybe the bitterness could also be directed towards the thirst, like, oh, I've been waiting for so long, like I've already gotten used to the dry spell, right? Then why suddenly the rainfall? Why suddenly remind me that my thirst still exists? Why do I still have that thirst? So so maybe like the bitterness could be directed to both fate, in the sense that you're bitter that um, the weather has been dry for so long, but also you're bitter that okay, now it's not dry. It's like you're toying with my fate, my destiny, you know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are your thoughts too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.